Hello guys, how are you? So it's our next class of activity-based costing. In the last class, we have done the example of Sunbar, Skybar, and Moonag. If you remember that we have done the same question with absorption costing using machine hours as the base, and after that we have done uh, through ABC using the appropriate basis. Obviously, for appropriate basis for different types of hours, for different types of basis. So for OARs, and we have done through the proper concept. Okay, so first of all, we are going to understand the concept that what's the reason why there is the difference in the profit. Like when we have done the same question through absorption costing, the moon egg was showing the loss. Remember, the moon egg was showing the loss, and I have told you in the last class that maybe the management is angry on that why this. So maybe the management is angry on the team of Mooneg that why it's making the loss. So maybe he take the wrong decision on that wrong decision that maybe he say that stop making Mooneg. So it's not the game. Actually, when we do the same question through proper conceptual way, proper logical way, we come to know that actually Sunbar was making the loss. Moonet was not making it's in profit. So using ABC helped us in identifying the proper costing technique. Proper costing means proper selling price, proper profit. Obviously, you can calculate proper profits. So that's the benefit of ABC that it uses proper basis. Are some reasons as well. First reason I have written of components. See, actually, what I want to tell you that if we see the question, the same question, the question, yes, this question. If you see the question, the last question we have done, obviously yesterday in the yesterday class, if you see the number of components in Sun bar is so much higher as compared to other products. Number of customer orders so much high as compared to other. Number of production setup so much higher than other products. So obviously, number of components a lot higher than like you see from Skybar and Mooneg. Number of production setups a lot higher from the other Skybar and Mooneg. So it means the product with a higher basis will get higher cost. Obviously out of these three products, Sunbar is taking using the more basis. So obviously more overheads will fall towards Sunbar because the product Sunbar is taking more base, using more base like production setups more than Skybar and Mooneg. 20 number of components more than 4 and 6 of Skybar and Mooneg. So obviously more overheads will be allocated to Sunbar, and that's the reason because the Sunbar is taking more bases. The weightage of the basis is more under Sunbar, so obviously its cost gets higher. So obviously its cost gets higher, resulting in the loss of Skybar. Resulting in the loss of Skybar. That's I've written here that number of components, number of orders, maybe number of setups. You can say all these are so much higher in Skybar. In the Skybar, that obviously at last Skybar, this Skybar, sorry Sunbar. That's why this Sunbar shows the real loss. The Sunbar shows the real loss, and it's real loss, not the fake loss. In absorption, it was fake profit shown by Sunbar because obviously we are using the wrong base there. So it's very important to understand that using right base is very important. So there is an assignment for you here as well. This is the question. Just take the screenshot from here. Just take the screenshot from here right now. Pause the question, take the screenshot, and do this question as an assignment. And after doing this question, submit it to me on WhatsApp. Submit it to me on WhatsApp. I know you have my number. You students are having my number. But if in case my number is misplaced or somehow you are not having my number, so this is my number +923044325290. Ahsan Zubair. Ahsan Zubair. My name is Ahsan Zubair, and I am obviously your teacher, you know. So this is my number in case you are not having my number. So use this number and send your assignment to me on this number. And proper assignment means that first you have to identify the proper course drivers. Secondly, Obviously, as we have done, calculate proper OARs. Thirdly, absorb the overheads to products. Then calculate production overhead per unit. And at last, you don't need to calculate the profit. Just calculate till this step. Till this step. Just calculate production overhead per unit as I have done in the last question. Obviously, one question I have done, one question you will do for the practice. There are, if I just have a fast review on it. See, there are two products, plus and double plus are two products. These are the obviously bases, and after that, all the bases are cost drivers are given, and just you have to calculate through absorption costing as well. See, it's written through absorption costing as well and through ABC as well. In absorption costing, what base you will take? Obviously, you can take labor hours, and it's written yes. See, you have to obviously in ABC system, obviously there are some overheads, the bases are given in front of them, but for the absorption you have to take the base labor hours, right? I'm telling you here, you have to take the base labor hours. Just take the screenshot of it, and if you are not focusing on assignments, it will be bad for you at the end. Obviously, you can't be able to obviously perform the technical calculations. I know when you will do assignment, there will be a lot of difficulties and technicalities, but no issue. Your brother is with you. No issue. We'll see. Okay. Now, when you'll do that, obviously we'll check that and we'll discuss that as well. So now these are some advantages. These are some advantages, the benefits of ABC. First of all, if you are implementing ABC, means you are calculating proper, correct, appropriate production overhead per unit. And when you are calculating proper cost per unit using the production overhead that are properly absorbed according to the relevant basis, obviously your pricing decision will get better, because you know your exact cost is this plus profit. This is the price. Maybe through absorption you are getting the price $10, and you are saying, okay, let us take the profit 2 and sell for 12. But after that, when you use ABC, you come to know that actual cost was 13 and you are selling 112. So it helps you in the pricing decision. First of all, if pricing decision is good, obviously it helps you in the decision making. Obviously, better pricing means better decision making. After that, obviously, if decision making is better, your performance management will be better. Like my manager is using absorption costing, and he was, according to him, the profit was there, like $10 cost per unit plus profit. The total selling price was 12, and he thought that there is like the proper profit he is earning. But after that, when actual results come, the loss was there. Now he's like just thinking that why the loss is there. It was like $10 cost, but actually according to ABC the cost was 13. So if obviously your pricing decision will be good and proper using ABC, decision will be good, and performance management will be good. Like performance will be good. Performance will be good, and you will be able to measure the performance of the manager more accurately if you're using ABC, because you are having a good insights, better insights as compared to if you're using absorption costing. And sales strategy, obviously, when these all points will be covered, like pricing decision is good, decision making is good, performance management is good. So obviously, sales strategy, you know how to sell, at which selling price you have to sell. If you are not even aware about the proper cost, obviously how can you sell at the proper sales price, selling price? So your sales strategy will fail there. So under ABC, these all points will be covered, and it's recommended to businesses to use ABC so that it can properly work. There are some advantages and disadvantages as well for ABC. Let us discuss it as well. These are some theoretical points. Theoretical points are very important in ABC, because F5 paper, F5 exam is like just you have a proper knowledge. Proper knowledge means you have a proper thoughts, proper logics in your mind for any topic if examiner asks. This is the first topic, but you will see throughout the batch, we're focusing on theoretical aspects very much. So let us discuss some advantages and disadvantages. First advantages, obviously, we have already discussed accurate cost per unit. Yes, accurate cost per unit, because accurate production over per unit. Better insights of what drives overhead cost. Like you will be having better insight. You will be having the better results, that you know that what drives overhead cost means that this overhead is due to which base. You know it better in ABC, because in ABC you will properly identify with the base now. So when you will identify the base properly, you will be having better insight. You know that this overhead is due to this base, and if I touch this base, if I change this base, overhead will be affected. It's written in the next point. See, overhead can be controlled because you know the cost drivers. If you, this is the overhead, this is the overheads, this is the base. You know this base. If it increases or decreases, the cost will be increased or decreased because it, this cost depending upon this base. So when it's the case, when it's a scenario, if you want to control this overhead cost, you want to get it lowered, you want to make your cost less, overheads lower down. So what you will do, you will go to the base. And if you are having the proper relevant base, that is in ABC, you are identifying that. So if you are having the proper base, if you are controlling this base, overheads will be controlled. But in absorption, think some one thing, that if you are having the overhead cost, this overhead cost, and you are taking machine hours as a base, that is not even the base of this overhead. Now you are saying why overheads are higher? Let us control that. And if you're using absorption, you will say, okay, machine hours is the base. Just lower down the machine hours. You have lowered down the machine hours. You have cut out the machine hours and take from 100 hours to 70 hours. When you have obviously lowered down, cut down the machine hours, get it lowered, the overhead are still on the same place. Now you are thinking, why? Why is this so? That why I have lowered down the machine hours, still cost is on the same level. Why? Because you don't know that it is not the base. You will, if you are having proper cost driver that you can control that overhead. That's the benefit of ABC. That first we are discussing basically the benefits. Realistic cost in complex business. Now there are some complex business in which the obviously production may be complex, the components are being used, activities are very complex, activities are there. So where there are complex activities, complex units, production is complex, there ABC will help you a lot, because ABC are focusing on the activities that take the overhead on the base, on the relevant base, on the base which is relevant, not irrelevant base. So in the complex business, it helps a lot because you have a proper insight that this overhead due to this overhead incurring due to this overhead incurring due to this base, this cost driver. So it helps you in complex business very much. And even in service businesses, it helps you a lot because you know service businesses means activity based business. Like you are just providing, you are doing the activities and you are providing the services, you are not providing the product. So in service business, as there is no product but there are activities, like teaching is an activity, this is a part of service. So overheads incurred due to teaching, I know that teaching cost, teaching overheads divided by the base. What base? Not machine hours or labor hours. You will take the proper base, number of teaching hours, this is a proper base. So it is like in service business, it helps a lot because we are focusing on the activities and absorbing that overheads on that relevant activities, that is must. And ABC obviously says that. So it is very much beneficial for the businesses to properly control, properly understand, properly take the better insights of the overheads. ABC helps a lot. But there are some disadvantages as well. There are some disadvantages as well. Brothers, there are some disadvantages as well. There are some disadvantages as well. Okay, what are the disadvantages? So first of all, the businesses with a low proportion of overheads. Obviously, if you see now, if you see overheads, ABC is like very much costly and time consuming. Costly and time consuming. Why? Because you have to understand the concept of base, then find that base and separate that base and all the activities, different bases we have to manage that. So it's costly and timely, right? So if your business is having just 2% overheads and 98% direct cost, just overhead are 2%, very minor, very minor. So for these minor overheads, if you are using ABC, then you will obviously have incurring a lot of cost, lot of time just to manage 2% of the business cost. So in that scenario, it's a disadvantage, that no need to use ABC if the business is having the low proportion overhead. Low proportion overhead, like it's like 1%, 2% of the total cost. Then no need to do the to find the basis and all that. No need, no need of that. Then just use absorption, no issue. If a small portion is getting, for example, in case we are using absorption here where 2% are overheads, if they're calculating be if they're calculated wrong, still there will be a no major effect. Why? Because out of that total cost, just minor cost was overheads. So that's why in that case it's a disadvantage to use ABC. Impossibility in using all specific drivers. Maybe you are having some overheads, but you are like finding the base for that and you are not able to find that. So sometimes it's impossible for you to find the specific cost driver. If there is no specific cost driver, obviously how you can calculate OER. So it's like Disadvantage that if any overhead arises that has that space is not being identified, what will you do there? That's a disadvantage. Is complex to understand, obviously. For the management it's complex to understand every step. I think for the student, if I'm like just teaching you and you are like understanding the concept of ABC, it's simple, it's not complex. But actually in real life it's complex. We have to identify that this is the, for example, this is my office. There is AC, there is board, there is ring light, there is cupboards, there is fan, there is everything is incurring the overheads. Everything is incurring the overheads. So these overheads, now what activities should I assign? What activity should I assign to electricity cost? What activity I should I assign to cabins, fans? What activities? The cost incurring from there. What activities I will identify? It is time consuming and costly. In practical life, it's like time consuming, right? So complex to understand. And if this is a point, just understand, if for example, if your cost of implementing ABC increases than the benefit. Like if the cost of implementing the ABC system is more and benefit from that ABC implementing ABC is less, then it's disadvantage to use the ABC. Like same example, I can repeat here that for example, if we are incurring the 2% of the cost out of 100%, 2% is overhead, and we are incurring time and cost for that. Obviously cost will be more and benefit will be very lower. So in that case, no need to calculate through ABC and take tension, take, don't be worried about that in that case, right? So it is the case that there are some advantages as well and disadvantages of ABC as well. You have to understand it properly. If you have any question, you can ask me on WhatsApp. Your brother will be always on WhatsApp for your support. You just need to have a message, send a message or text or voice note. I will help you properly. Okay. Now it's written ABC in public sector. Public sector means government sectors. You know that government sectors mostly have the service. Like if there is an electricity department of the government, like for the nation, for the complete nation, complete country, there is electricity department. There is, for example, banking, government banks, government schools. Obviously they are providing services. So government is based on government are based on services. More like 90-95% of the government sectors are providing services to the obviously nation, to the people of the country. So they obviously collect the funds from the tax. Obviously from the tax we pay the tax and it goes to government, and government doesn't have its own money. Obviously they have to take from the public. So public is providing the tax. They are like accumulating all the funds, fund finance, and they are using that to provide you services, right? So the business, the organization, the government organizations, public sector with the more services, obviously their motive is to provide you more services for less money. So it means there must be a proper control. It means there must be a proper control. Then obviously corruption is not like obviously recommended. You want that the government has our money and they provide us best service using that money. So and you are not having a unlimited money that you can say that okay, everything will work. No, you have a limited money, but you have a very lot of services to be provided to the public. So in that case, proper control must be there. So for how proper control can be obviously implemented through the proper allocation of cost to activities. Like the activities they are performing, proper the cost allocated to that activities, it the proper control can be there if you are using ABC. Like ABC will help you to find okay, this is the department, government schools. Okay, one classroom is operating, two classroom is operating. How much cost? How much fans? How much AC? How much lights? How much board markers? And all that overhead. Obviously, you are thinking for that specific organization, and then what you are saying that obviously for this for this obviously markers or this overhead, this much amount will be required. So if you are properly focusing on the activities and properly allocating the cost according to that activities, obviously ABC is the same concept. ABC, what ABC is saying, that properly allocate the cost on the activities on the proper base. That is in that is the main reason of that overhead. So if you are using ABC in the government sector, obviously you will like having the proper insights, proper, you can say the you can at this example, that come in my mind. For example, this is a police station. That's a police station. Obviously, police station is a public sector. Now there are four rooms, one, two, three, four. These all are incurring the cost, incurring the overheads. Plus, obviously, there are police cabs, police cars, obviously, and like wagons or cars like that, or buses for the police. There is a transportation system. There's a you can say guns system. Obviously, all the system is there, right? So, incurring overhead, obviously, government has to provide the budget to this police station. How it will provide? It will see first, government will see that which room has how much cost, which person is taking how much cost. For example, a specific person, their uniforms, their electricity, their repair, maintenance, their cars. So government will first review all the activities, and according to that, budget will be provided. So ABC help there because ABC focuses on activities. Its name is activity-based costing. So it's focusing on activities. That this activity is incurring, okay, we'll provide the budget for that. So ABC help in public sector so much. Like this is written, tight control where less resources and scared of accountability. Obviously, when you are using if you want to implement proper tight control where there are the less money, less resources, ABC is very good. ABC is very good. Why ABC is good? Obviously, ABC will be focusing on proper activities and the overheads that are being obviously incurred due to that activities. Like after that, managers should be helped and get awareness. This is the recommendation that if any organization is going through absorption costing, that organization should focus on what? The managers training. Managers should be helped, should be trained so that they get awareness of ABC and they implement that in your organization. Because obviously, when something is changed, managers take time. There's not like if absorption costing is being implemented, one day I come and say my manager, okay, from today implement ABC. No, they will say, how we don't know how to implement. So obviously, whenever you change the culture of the organization, any concept of the organization, so there is a resistance from manager side. So you have to make their mind through training. That is I've written. Resistance is there due to culture change. So for that you have to like train the manager, motivate the manager that obviously that ABC will help them and help the organization both. So in that case, obviously that the obviously manager will be okay and they will say that okay, we are going to implement. But if you are not motivating them, you are not training them properly, then obviously they will always say okay, we'll implement from next year, next year, and they are not like focusing on that. So it's the main issue. So in ABC, if I go through the fast point, in ABC, if I tell you the fast 2 to 3 points, one is always take the proper base of overheads for calculation of OAR, production overhead per unit, total cost, and obviously total cost will help you to calculate proper selling price, proper profits will come, and better insights of the cost drivers basis. And thirdly, I told you in public sector in and the sectors just like service industries, their obviously activities are more as compared to the products. Obviously, in service industry, in government, public industry, the public sector, there is no product to be sold. So there are activities, and where there are activities, activity-based costing helps you a lot. Here, activity-based costing concept, the topic is ended. One question I have given you as an assignment, and you have to do that. My students, my beautiful students, you have to do that. If you are not doing that, then I will not give you guarantee to pass. You want the guarantee? Regular assignments to be submitted to me. Inshallah, you'll get pass. So meet you guys in the next class. Chapter is ended. First activity based costing chapter is ended. Now next class will go towards uh, 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 target costing. Okay. So meet you guys in the next class. Till then, take care. Bye.